Hey, thanks for joining. Today's session is titled Data Recording Compliance and So Much More Through Digital Transformation. I am Pete Barrie with Sanimatic. I'm Sanimatic's Product Management Director, and I'm going to take you through the slides today and have a good time in the short time we have with you. So first off, just want to introduce Sanimatic a little bit so you have an idea of where we're coming from. Sanimatic, if I have to give an elevator speech and let someone know what we do, it's automating and improving sanitary cleaning processes. So you can see some of the products that we have there on the screen, as well as the industries we serve. So we serve the biopharm, food, beverage, as well as personal care, nutraceutical type industries. So we are creating cleaning equipment and cleaning components to help those industries clean their process equipment, whether it's a bioreactor on the left, a waste scale bucket measuring some kind of food product, or a beverage filler. We create cabinet washers, CIP systems, things that clean those parts. On the bottom right there is Sanimatic's new facility that we moved into recently in 2019 in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Digital transformation, starting the journey. So, where did we start on this transformational journey that we're on and continue to be on? So, I threw in that quote. I both love and hate that quote from Henry Ford. You've probably heard it before. So I'll read it out loud here. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. So I love that quote to really bring innovation, and it's not always what someone's asking for is what you're going to develop or bring to market. So I love it for that reason. I don't like it for the fact that it definitely is, you do need that customer input on it. So right, the customer, the horse buyer in this case, they wanted to move faster. They wanted to transport things faster. So Henry Ford, obviously the automobile did that. But it was completely different than what they originally thought. So what we're doing is we're finding a customer need, which is data recording compliance, and we'll talk about that more in a second. But all those industries that we saw in that last slide, they need to clean their process, and various regulatory agencies, they need to record that they cleaned and the various parameters of cleaning. So that was really the need that we started, Sanimatic started with on this digital transformation journey. But then, the title of this presentation is that there's so much more. We're really trying to expand upon it. So not only fulfill that need in ways that amaze the customer more so than they expected, and find more products and services that we can offer and help make their lives easier ultimately. So what is our product? Sanitron Cloud is the name of the product, and you'll see our graphic, our visual there. So it's an online data acquisition and management system. So as I mentioned in that last slide, our key product here is cleaning cycle report. So our graphic here, I like it. It shows outlines of some of our cleaning systems. So you think the two box rectangle style equipments, those are called our cabinet washers. So think of that as like your dishwasher at home, right? So it's cleaning a lot more than the dishes at your home, but process parts for a food industry or personal care industry. So we have fully automated systems. We have PLCs and HMIs, and we have full control of those systems. And there's so much data in there. Existing ways to do that data reporting is chart recorders and manually writing it down, right? Sometimes you build this full automated system, but you're still doing manual logging of your data. So this product connects to the cloud, and then translates that into, you can see the graphic on the right there, the cleaning cycle reports. We'll talk about other features like mobile alerts and OEE reports and things like that. So it's translating that cycle data that we get from our process cleaning equipment into knowledge, right? It's transferring into knowledge. But there's also multiple people there, and they're doing multiple functions, and they're communicating, and they have to share that knowledge too. So it's not only the knowledge and gaining that knowledge from the system, but it's also sharing that within individuals at the company, as well as Sanimatic as an OEM as well. So here's our primary deliverable. Again, it's the cleaning cycle report. So again, relate this to a dishwasher kind of at home. There's various things that are going on during cleaning. There's flows and pressures. There's temperatures. For us, conductivity relates to chemical being added. We use much different chemicals in the food or biofarm type industries for cleaning than you would for dishwasher soap at home. But we're recording those key parameters because we need to know that yes, this bioreactor or this cooked kettle in a bakery was cleaned. We're also grabbing a bunch of other data too. So user ID, who was logged in, the recipe name, what it cleaned, messages, alarms, comments, approval functions. So all sorts of information we're not only grabbing from our system and then bringing up to the cloud to present to the end user and have them review it, but then they're also able to interact with it, right? They're able to comment on things and send a report over to a coworker and say, what do you think about this? Or have Sanimatic come in and take a look at it as well. So this was our primary deliverable that we developed with our Sanitron Cloud solution. So again, title of the presentation and so much more. What else have we really gotten out of this? So we went on this journey to knowing that there's a cleaning cycle report need, that people need to do cleaning cycle reports. We brought it up to the cloud, which is good. It provides some some collaboration and other important advantages. But what else? What else can we do then now that that data is here? What else should this product offer? So some of the things you see here are what I call kind of secondary deliverables or product add-ons, right? Kind of the bell that's ringing with the end user or the customer in this case is really, hey, I need cleaning cycle reports. This product delivers. But then, hey, what else can we provide with this? So dashboard, so you can check all the data live, trending. So I mentioned we're trending temperatures of the wash cycles and the chemicals and things like that in there for data reporting compliance. But can trending be used to also evaluate the system? And when you have trouble, do some troubleshooting and look back at the data and see, at this time and date, 2 weeks ago on the Tuesday, we had some issues. What happened there? Let's take a look at the system. Preventive maintenance trackers. So we're trying to turn, the preventive maintenance more into a predictive or at least a proactive type maintenance, right? So instead of just changing out your pump seals or your gaskets annually, let's take a look at the run hours on the pump. Let's take a look at how many times that valve actually cycles. And when it does fail, that's kind of all right, this is our baseline, and let's look at that and set it so that next time we're going to get a notice ahead of time and say, hey, we're 80% of the way to failing that we failed that last time. Let's change that seal. Let's change that valve. Email, text notifications. Again, because it's on the cloud, this is one that every one of us experiences a lot. For our systems, it's like that dishwasher where you hit start and maybe 20 minutes, maybe 2 hours later, you come back depending on the application and the process. But you're doing other tasks during that time. You're doing some process tasks, or something else is going on, or you're remote. You're working remote that day, and you want to know when your clean cycles are done, so you can talk to someone else about production. So all that collaboration, anything that goes on within our system, we can really trigger those email and text notifications. Trending. So this is, I mentioned earlier, OEE trending. So OEE, or overall equipment effectiveness. So the three variables of availability, performance, and quality. Those are used a lot in processing equipment. So actually producing the product, but we're cleaning the product or the processes that are producing the product. So with that though, our systems are just as well suited to be able to set up and monitor those availability, performance, and quality scores. So we looked at the OEE from a cleaning system side and said, hey, let's define each of these parameters for what it means for a clean system. Define them and then calculate them and show them to an end user, allow them to track them, look at them over time. And the whole point there is not just, it's just not just numbers. What's the goal on this? We want people to be able to set up their system as a baseline. Here's kind of optimal performance. If I see any degradation, here's what I can do to improve it. So I can, again, that knowledge, I can go look and see what's happening. I can figure out some improvements on how to fix that. And then cloud documentation, a really simple one, but I think a really powerful one. So all those instruction manuals and spare parts lists and things that these facilities get, a lot of times that information goes to a certain project manager or someone associated with a project, and maybe that information doesn't get trickled down to a maintenance tech or an operator. So in the same portal that we're doing all this other stuff, we throw some of the key documentation so that again, it's a big knowledge sharing portal so that it makes it more useful for the users. Staying in touch. So this one is kind of again preemptively talking about one of our secondary benefits here and kind of the future of this product. So again, our facility there, we're building these systems for food, beverage, pharmaceutical plants. We have a lot of interaction with people up front specifying the system during the design and the build of our system at Sanimatic there. We engage a lot with the customer. We work with maintenance and quality and the project manager, and they're looking at utilities and all sorts of things. So there's a lot of engagement and staying in touch, obviously, during the system design and fabrication and build. But then the system goes on site. We have field services and startup services that we offer a lot. So we might continue that touch point for the time being until that system is up and operational. But then after that, that we leave, our field service team leaves and the system's running, and then we might not know anything about that system for the 5, 10, 15, 20 years it's in operational, unless they go back and reach back out to us. So what do we want to do? We want to stay more in touch with them. We want to see how their system is operating, have a relationship with that customer, really provide them value by, hey, your system is off a little bit, or hey, we're seeing this on your system. So we want to keep that touch point. It's very important from a customer relations standpoint to really, be involved not only during the sale but post sale. We built this system. We're proud of it. We're very proud of our craftsmanship and our automation work and everything we do it here at Sanimatic, and we want to make sure that's successful for you. We don't want that system to have an issue that could be easily fixed by us that we didn't talk about or didn't know about, really, right? So staying in touch is a huge portion of our Sanitron Cloud platform. And then future deliverables. So I kind of talked into this with the staying in touch, but the secondary deliverables I went through on that last slide a couple of slides ago were more product focused, right? So these were OE optimization, kind of like a products related to that cloud service that an end user can use themselves, or the notification, things like that. So what's in the future for this? So I use the term services. It's more of a service mentality where because one of these customers has the Sanitron Cloud system, again, we can see all the data that's going on there. So today we get tons of technical support calls, obviously. Hey, I'm having this problem, troubleshooting this thing. How can you help me? There's a lot of phone over the phone discussions on what's going on. Can you check this? Can you look at that? Just simply a customer having this platform and us being able to log in and take a look at what's going on, I'm going to say enhances the remote technical support we can offer. That OEE analysis, so I walked through how you can monitor it and improve, or at least if there's any degradation, bring that back up to the initial operating levels. So a customer might not be comfortable with, hey, my OEE's dropping. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. So can we provide services for system optimization? Can we do this on a on-call or a request basis, or can we do that on a quarterly basis or an annual basis? Is that an interest to our customers? I would think so. Customized how-to educational videos. So obviously in these days there's lots of videos going on, and we try to provide a lot of educational content, not only from a high level in sanitary cleaning process knowledge at Sanimatic, but also from how do you change this spray bar? How do you make a recipe on my HMI for my cleaning system? How do you change that? How can we be flexible? So we're obviously developing that content, but with this customized portal, we can not only store the documentation particular for their system, but all right, a customer has this type of system and we just created this how-to video. Let's put that there for them so that their operators or their maintenance people that may not be getting other type of videos or kind of aware of Sanimatic as a company, they can see those easily enough. So more fine-tuned and more tailored content for each and every plant, not only every plant but every system, right? And then augmented reality integration. There's a lot of exciting things going on in that space. Now that system is on site, and we, our system is tied up to the cloud, and we know all the data, right? We know the flow meter, the flow that's going on. We know the pressure that's going on. We know all the aspects of that data, but from someone looking at it, you can't necessarily see that apparently. So, can we tie into that Sanitron Cloud platform with augmented reality integration to help provide more information for the users and the operators of the system. And then I end with and more there. So obviously these are future-looking services, and the best and probably most exciting point of this is that we discover more and more things that we think about every week. We're constantly learning as well. So the next thing that that's going to be added to this list, I have no idea what it is, right? So to wrap up here, digital transformation. So I said IT/OT convergence is, I use two words here, and I think I used them throughout the presentation: knowledge and connectivity. And I think it's my image is hiding that last one. I think it's either connection or connectivity. So we're gonna go with knowledge and connectivity. Those two words, right? I started with knowledge, right? Knowledge is the big thing. We have these really smart systems from a isolated standpoint, and we're basically exposing that knowledge to not only the facility for that data recording compliance, but then a lot of other areas we're exposing knowledge that we never even knew we had with OEE analysis and things like that. So it's knowledge, but I think just as important and tied into that is connectivity. So again, that knowledge, going to an operator, if he can then share that with a QA manager, that connection between all those different individuals at the facility across shifts, right? So a lot of times this system might be running across multiple shifts. So I can now share and comment on my clean cycle report so that the next shift has this knowledge. So there's connection at the plant level. There's obviously a dynamic where there's corporate and individual plant connection that can happen. But then, just as important too, as I touched on a few times, is Sanimatic's connection to the end user, to what they're doing. So it's not, we have the expert knowledge on our equipment and how it should run and how to optimize it. And without this product, we lose that connection and touch point with that customer. So the connection is just as important, if not the most important, between us and the OEM and then the actual end user. So again, knowledge and connection are my two words. If you remember anything for the digital transformation, the IT/OT convergence we're seeing here. So thanks for joining. Really appreciate your time, and have a great day.